ain't nothing to it. Boss.
Welcome to another episode of the Boss Babes in Real Estate. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today is a very special episode because we had the Boss Bros visiting us in our house. Thank you so much. And without any further, why you don't go ahead and introduce yourselves and let us know your status.
My name is Ricky Padilla. I'm in a relationship. I have 2 children, and I'm very happy.
Very good. Very good.
My name is Bobby Davidowitz. I am single. I'm not married. No kids. 43 years old.
All right.
And it's all by design.
That's right.
My name is Josue Soto. I'm married 22 years with my wife 25 years. I have 3 children and a beautiful grandson.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
And of course, hi, my name is Lilybeth Vasquez, LV the Realtor, checking in. Hello, Lily. And Gabby Aparicio here, checking in with the Boss Babes and the Boss Bros. We are so excited to have you all here. And as you may know, a couple of weeks ago, we aired our episode titled Modern Women, right? Which was a very interesting topic. We had a lot of opinions and commotion around it. We discussed what was it that men want today. Supposedly, as of us as women, we discussed modern women and the Kevin Samuels famous interview that he did that was titled Modern Woman Party of One. That's really what we based it off of. That's how it started. The conversation started, right? Because he was saying, well, modern women, boss babes, right, are typically going to stay single or have trouble getting into a relationship because men prefer a more submissive type of woman. So that's the topic that really started the whole conversation. Is that true? What does that mean? As women, we all gave our opinions if that was true or not to us. But honestly, we wanted to hear the opinion of the guys in this topic, right? We wanted to hear if that's true, if you guys don't like modern woman or prefer a traditional woman. Do you like a submissive woman? What does the submissive word mean? So all of these questions we have for you today. We hope that you answer truthfully and to the best of your abilities. And we'll go from there.
Is there any way to block this so my girl doesn't hear it?
So Lily, why don't you go ahead and give us the definition of a modern woman like you shared last time?
Okay, so not the Urban Dictionary definition?
Well, yeah.
Or the Lily definition.
No, let's keep the same definition because
Right.
I feel like all the women like the definition that I gave, right?
Yeah.
A modern woman is anyone who is living in the now, who questions, who asks, who challenges, who stands up for her rights. And I added a little something, right? And she doesn't apologize for being a woman, for being beautiful, for being smart, for having an opinion, and for having a personality.
That's right.
So, modern women.
Okay.
What is a modern woman for you, Ricky?
Can we start over there?
I'll be honest with you. I think where we go wrong is labeling. Right? So, this is the problem. We're looking for an answer to a thing and some definition that she just gave of what a modern woman is. And I think this is where we go wrong. And the funny part is that everybody's fighting to get equal rights, but and it was all because they were put in boxes and labeled, and then we're putting more labels on now.
Yes.
Now this is what a modern woman is, and a man wants a submission. Well, look, it's all dependent on the person. And I can tell you right now that the number one reason people end up who they end up with has to do with their self-worth and their insecurities.
Yep.
Okay? So if a modern woman ends up with a guy that doesn't treat her the way, don't blame it on modern woman versus she wanted something submissive. Look at yourself, look at your self-worth, and figure out why you attracted that guy. Because if a modern woman wants to be in control, right, it has to come from within. If we all want to be in control.
Yeah.
Like if I blame the outside world because I'm a modern woman and, it's because men want submissive women and this is why the shit ain't working out. Okay, well, you're completely out of control.
Yeah.
So this boss babe shit, throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Because you ain't in control. You're saying that the outside world dictates how things happen to you.
Yes.
Right? So if you want a certain type of man, you better have the self-worth and project that shit out and you will attract it. If not, it's on you.
Wow.
Very
Talk
deep.
that talk.
I feel that.
You don't want me on the show.
Yes, yes.
You don't want me on the show.
Very nice. I love it, though. No, we're so happy you're here because
tell
that's what
you.
we want to hear.
I'll piggyback on Bobby's. Whoa, Kim, you brought the fire, which is true. I think that a lot of times, the modern women are labeled. And the thing is that you have to understand that the modern woman transition has been going on for years and years. As you guys can see this, they're becoming very independent for multiple years. People don't understand. This just didn't start right now. This happened back in World War II, in Civil War, when ladies started taking over while the men were out fighting. They started working in the minefields, in the boat yards and all that. So this has developed years to come, and I think that a lot of times what Bobby was mentioning is that they feel that they're not being respected for who they are or where they sit at the moment. And it's not that you're not being respected. I think that the type of person that you're attracting is not the person that you should be attracting at the moment. You understand? I'm being honest with you. I think, sometimes we have to take a look at ourselves in the mirror and say, is this the right person for me? Is this the right person that aligns with my core? Is this the right person that aligns with what I want in my future? Let
me ask you a quick question. So when you're the married one here too, how do you know that you were your wife was the one for you?
She was a modern woman.
Okay.
When I met her, she was very independent. My wife was a single mom at 19 years old.
Okay.
I met her when she was 23 years old. She got my daughter, when she was born, my wife was already divorced. So she basically was like divorced when my daughter was born from her previous marriage. So when I met my daughter, my wife, I seen the type of woman she was. And trust me, I mean, I dated a lot of women, a lot. Let's just say that. I'm going to leave her right there. Because she knows, but I keep it that way. And, one of those. But
That's in the past.
But one thing that really drew me to her and attracted to her was she wasn't about my money. She wasn't about me. She was about really looking forward to taking care of her kids. She did everything on her own. Back then, she was only making like $8, $9 an hour. And I'm telling you, because I'm speaking the truth about her. She did this on her own. She had her own apartment. She took care of her kids. She paid her car, everything, and never expected anything, a dime from anyone.
Okay.
And that right there was like, whoa, man, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Because she wasn't intrigued. And she'll be the first one to tell you a lot. I think we all make mistakes in relationships. We all, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I tell this to all my guy friends and my lady friends. Man, don't be afraid to love, man. Because if you're afraid to love, then you're not gonna ever know if that's the right person for you.
Yes.
So don't be afraid to date and all that. So that's one of the things I've seen in her, and it drew me closer to her. And sure enough, man, she's a modern woman. She's a powerhouse. Yeah. In fact, I push her more on stages than I did myself, because that's who she is. Yeah. Because I know the true story about her.
So you support that?
Oh, I support her 100%.
And I've watched his relationship from the outside, and I think they have one of the stronger ones that I've seen. And that's the thing, you don't see a lot of strong ones. No. Right? So, I love when people are like, why aren't you married? And I'm like, well, you guys are doing a shitty job of selling it. I can tell you right now. Like when the people that ask me that aren't happy. And you're like, oh, let me come on in with me. I'm like, I'm good.
And I love that Bobby's very transparent about it. Because it's okay to be transparent about it. I mean, we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago about this, and I told everybody, listen, man, when I got married, I knew I was ready to get married. I think the biggest mistakes that we all make, and I'm telling you, we all, because I include myself in this, is that we try to rush things knowing that internally we're not ready for that. And I see it all day long. And I tell my kids this, man, if you're not ready, then don't do it. There's nothing wrong with it. Be honest with yourself. That way you can be honest with the person in front of you.
That's right.
And I think that's a big mistake, that we're like afraid to really express our feelings. But once you do, you understand that relief, you pull that monkey out of your back because you're being honest. Even though it hurts you sometimes to be that way, but you'd rather be that way than take somebody for a ride or along with you, knowing that that's not the right person for you, the right relationship for you. So I'm with you, Bobby.
I love that, and the fact that you guys are from different perspectives and different stages in life, right? So we have Josh, who has been married for years and years. We have Ricky, that's in a relationship. We have Bobby, that's single. But we wanted a different background, different type of people, so that we can see what are the things you guys all agree, no matter where you are, you agree on?
I have to say,
yeah.
Listening to what his story was when it comes to how he entertained his wife and figured out, like, hey, this is the one for me, is damn near identical. Like, I put myself to college. I didn't want to go to college, realistically. I did it because my mom was like, that's the next step. Mm-hmm. I did it. I graduated. I showed her degree. Have I ever showed anybody else my degree? No, never. Every other business that I own, I've never used my degree, but I did that for my mom. For me, knowing the struggle that I went through in college to graduate, I wanted somebody, not the same struggle, but to understand where I came from. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so when I started dating my girl, she was a junior in college. She didn't have no money. She knew I had money, not like, no multimillionaire, but she knew I had it. And whenever, I was good in a good situation, she never asked for nothing. She never, she just kept trying to put herself through college. And I saw how she was treating her kid, her sister's kids, and I was like, wow, she's really, like, she's going to be a great mom one day. And, like him, I was outside. You guys knew me when I was,
we've been knowing you for years.
I was outside. Now I'm inside, but I was outside.
I like that term. I like that.
So, that whole situation where I was like, okay, you know what? This is the first time that I really see somebody that's trying to get ahead in life. Like, I always use the scenario. I don't care if you started working at McDonald's. If you're doing the McDonald's thing and the next week you want to be the manager and then the week after that you want to be the general manager and then the week after that you want to own one, that's what means more to me than you just staying over there flipping the burgers. You know what I'm saying? So ambition has always been a big trait for me when it comes to a woman. I don't care where she's at in life, but as long as her ambition's there with what she started with, like where she started and she's trying to go up, then for me that's sexier than,
So is it safe to say that you guys prefer a modern woman over a traditional woman?
But listen,
do we know the difference?
Hearing what Josue is saying and what Ricky is saying, I feel like, and even Bobby, I feel there is a combination of both. Mm-hmm. If they have said, we would like the modern woman, the hardworking mom, all that, but they still say, they're great mothers and they are great.
But we're not. By definition, let's because that's the thing. We gotta establish, right?
We gotta put some more labels on it. Go ahead.
Lily, that's the thing that this guy was doing, right? So we wanna give Lily. I will let you explain why. He said there's modern woman and traditional woman, right?
Yeah, I wanna explain it by asking a question to the guys here. Mm-hmm. Take advantage of having them on the podcast. So we all know Josue's wife, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Shout
out to Rebecca.
But she's super sweet, super laid. I feel like she's super sweet, super laid back, and she's a powerhouse when she needs to be, right? So when I think of their relationship, I still feel like someone's in the lead.
No, that has nothing to do with it. Like, obviously, in the lead, the men should always be on the lead, regardless in our relationship. But we're talking about modern woman, traditional woman. When you
talk about submission.
Let's bring the topic up. Go ahead.
You want the definition of a traditional wife?
No,
go
just go ahead.
No, when you talk about submission, ladies, what did the word submission do for you when I brought up that question?
We got mad.
Yeah, we got mad. So what happened was, she said in this interview, right? This guy said, Kevin Samuels, right? We'll go back to him.
Yes, we got to go back.
He said that most men prefer submissive women. The majority of men want a submissive woman, and that every woman has a price to submit.
A price?
No. Okay, and then to backtrack to it.
This guy's not making friends.
He's talking about. He's talking about women that want high value men, right? Men that make over 6 figures, that are well off, right? That don't. They have options, right? Men that have options. So women that want high value men that make over 6 figures and that have options. He's saying that those men prefer a submissive woman. So what he's saying is basically, it doesn't matter if you have a 6-figure income. It doesn't matter if you make $300,000 a year to that high value man. It doesn't matter. So what he's saying is, how much would it cost? How much would your man have to make
for you to be submit.
But let them answer. Let them
Is
answer.
that true?
What do you think, Bobby?
Is that true?
Yeah, well, once again, I think these are all distractions. You know, the relationships that you see work. I believe that the person that chooses the person knows themselves, and the problem is that people don't know themselves very well, and they start listening to all this shit, and then they try to figure out like, oh, I think I want this is what I want.
Exactly.
So you want if you're a modern woman out there and you want the best man, the best thing you can do is work on yourself and go heavy into personal development and figure out exactly what you want. Because here's what I see. You know, you get women that say, "Well, I'm gonna be strong," and then they staff their weaknesses. They get a man who's submissive, right? And then they run his ass, and then they don't respect his ass.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
Right? Oh. And then vice versa. It's like you, as a man, you think, oh well, I'm the driver, I'm this person, and this is the way shit's supposed to be. So I'm going to get somebody who's submissive. But then you got to explain your philosophies every single day and why you're spending time at the office, why you're out there being driven, and all this stuff. Part of the reason they work is they're both bosses.
Yeah.
They work as a team. They're married in real estate. They have a book. There is no, to me, I don't look at him and say he's the boss or she's the boss. They're the boss when they gotta be. And there has to be that balance. But they understand each other. He's never gonna have to tell her why he's building his real estate empire. Yes. He ain't gonna have to tell her why we're building this thing with EXP and why we're trying to expand globally so we can be financially
Because
free.
they built it together.
And then they built it together, but she understands him. But
what she's saying is she agrees with you on that, but she still agrees with Kevin that says that a high value man that has money, right, is gonna want a submissive woman. Do you agree with that?
Not every man. We have to say it's the majority. It's the majority.
Do you agree with that?
No, I've been in a scenario where I was dating a girl and she had more money than I did, and I was still felt like, hey, listen, at the end of the day, I'm the man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
You wanted to be in charge.
Yeah, and it's not even wanting to be in charge. It's just like
let you lead.
Be
respected. I don't care if you got more money than me.
Not necessarily submission, right?
That is submitting.
Letting
someone feeling like they're in the lead. That's you putting your trust in that person.
Yeah, but that's not
that is submitting.
I think
submitting
it's
is not bowing down and kissing the floor that they walk on. That's not submission. Submission is an understanding that this. I know you don't agree, but
you guys have been very successful, all of you guys, right? So I think it's a little different when you guys talk about these kind of situations because you guys are already established, and you got to think about these other girls, like when you see on social media, you see these 24-year-old, 25-year-old girls that really don't have nothing, and like I need a guy with 6 figures.
Yeah.
You guys don't need that in life.
Right.
You guys don't need that in life because you guys, you're already standing on your own 2 feet. So there's there's different groups when you have this conversation.
If you tell your woman right now, right? If you tell her, oh, you gotta submit to me, submissive. Like what is that word has a bad connotation.
Or like say, hey, you know what? I want you to stay home, take care of the kids, just do whatever in the household and everything, and I'll take care of everything.
No,
I mean that's sort of what it is in my household. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not like. I don't know, because when you say submissive, it just sounds bad, but like, that's just that's what works for us. That works for us.
And if it's discussed in the beginning,
we don't want somebody else wiping my kid's ass. We don't want none of that stuff.
We want. You guys are both on the same page.
Yeah. So for me, I'll work harder. And like when we really did the breakdown on it, it was a lot easier for me to pick up an extra day of work. And then for her to go do a 9 to 5 to, be gone from the house, pay for gas, pay for tolls, pay for all that, and then be away from the kids. And they care. It wasn't financially beneficial for us. So it's better for her to stay, me to pick up another night, and then be like, all right, that's it. It's over with. Like, we don't have no stress.
Ricky just touched on it. That was exactly where I was going at. I think that there's the definition of submissive, I think, is really blown out of context, man. I'll be honest with you. I think that if there's a respect between a couple with a relationship, like you just mentioned, and it's understandable from the beginning, then how can you say you're being submissive to your man? No, you're not being submissive to your man. You're doing what's right for you and your family at the moment. So there's no submissive there. I think that's blown out of context. I'll be honest with you.
It's just like because people don't like the word.
My wife decided to write a second book, which is coming out in September, by the way.
I like that plug. I like that plug.
Yeah.
September what?
She said,
what's it called?
It's actually, and by the way, it's actually a boss-based book, all ladies.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah, and And it was something that she said, what do you think? I said, babe, but if it's in your heart, run with it. I can't stop you on something that you're passionate about. You know what I'm talking about? So at the end of the day, she's running with it, and it's a whole group of 16 powerhouse women all over the world in the United States.
Right?
And it's impressive to hear. Like, I was listening over their Zoom yesterday, and it's impressive to hear how much they support one another.
Yeah.
And don't think that the conversations just end here. They're behind the scenes also.
Right.
And I think that if there's an understanding between a man and a woman from the beginning, and understand that we got to do what's right for us to get to where we want to go.
Yes.
Then there shouldn't be that submissive name should not even come out.
No.
And,
Yes.
and to answer
It's
your
a
question, she
teamwork.
was asking, okay, does a successful guy that makes money, will he choose? Maybe. I don't know the stats on that.
Right, exactly.
But then the second question is that shit really work?
No.
Because they do these things. How many times do you hear the story, right? The guy that has money, he chooses like the trophy wife or the submissive wife. That's all good. And then he's got
all day,
5
right?
other women he's messing
Yeah.
with and all this
Yes.
stuff. And and she thought it was gonna make her happy to do that because he
Yeah.
had the money,
Yeah.
but she
She's
looks
not happy
miserable and she's just hanging out with you guys talking shit. And then he's out there doing whatever the hell he wants to do. So like you just
Doesn't work.
Once again, it comes back to the individual.
Yep.
It comes back to knowing who you are and what your values are.
And
you will
maturity,
you
man.
will attract what
maturity,
you
I
put
think,
out.
is so
You know
important
what I'm
too.
saying? And you will attract what you put out. Like
Yeah.
that guy that chooses that because he
Yep.
thinks that that's the thing, still is not secure enough in himself to understand.
Damn.
He thinks that's what he's supposed to
Yeah.
do, right? He thinks he achieved. He's like, I'm worthy because I achieved things.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel worthy inside.
Yeah. Because he's dealing with his own
That's
insecurities.
right. And guess
Exactly.
what? Women doing the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Right? They think because they've been fighting this monster of being suppressed and all this stuff, they hit this monster and they think they're gonna fix the stuff on the inside because they achieved some things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna fix it.
Exactly.
If you don't fix what's going on in there, you can't.
Nobody's gonna
if you don't
heal
fix
you,
the daddy
you know?
issues, the mommy issues,
gotta
the growing
heal
up issues, and all that
yourself. You
shit,
cannot expect
you're gonna
anybody
end up
else.
with the same crazy ass relationship you always been in,
And
no
I'm
matter
telling
what
you.
you achieve.
And I agree with Bobby. I see that a lot, man. Like, you see these older gentlemen that's be straight up with you,
Yeah.
trying to go after these 20, 25-year-old. What is that woman going to provide to that man at that age, man?
I
Let's
know.
be honest with you.
Exactly.
Oh,
Bobby.
yeah. That's one thing only.
I'm gonna take
One thing only.
500, Alex.
Oh, we all know what it is. But
Exactly.
besides that, you tell me what
No,
level,
you're right.
what level
Right.
of knowledge
maturity.
and
Yeah,
maturity
yeah.
they have.
It's not gonna last.
Yeah.
It's not gonna last.
It's just gonna.
Where
if
is that
it
gonna
does-
take you? And
Yeah.
we're always trying to achieve more and more and more and more in our life.
Social media got these young girls thinking that they deserve, because of their looks, 6 figures, this, that, and the third, all that. That's not gonna get them nowhere, man. Like
No.
realistically, okay, cool. It has a short little run,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna. It's
On
not
the-
gonna
no
get you
long
nowhere.
term.
Yeah, in
No
the long
long
term,
term.
like this is one of the things I respect about you guys. That you guys has always been about your business.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
everybody. Let's be realistic. Everybody, beautiful women in here, but they're on their grind nonstop. I'm watching Instagram. I'm seeing posts. I'm seeing all kind of seminars that you guys are going to, and that's where it's a struggle for these younger girls are starting to come up. Like they really think that the lifestyle is like, oh, he needs to have 6 figures. No, sweetheart, what the fuck are you bringing
What
to
are
the
you
table?
bringing?
Exactly.
What are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
We went
Because
over
there's
this,
35 of y'all, and there's only one of me. So what do you got going on? Like
Value.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
what you want. When
Like,
you want value, you want something of essence, something
Yeah.
that holds value. So, and that's what we discussed last week too. You cannot, as a woman, ask for something that you cannot give, right? Like you're
Yeah.
not giving to yourself. So, like we were going over it last week, a couple of weeks ago. I said, if I go out and I'm on a date and I ask for 1942, guess what? You better know that I drink 1942 if I'm paying too. That's
Yeah.
just what I'm used to.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
that problem is girls see that and they think, oh no, if I'm out with a guy, he has to buy me 1942 and that's just the way it is. And
Yeah.
but can you buy that for yourself? Are you used to that lifestyle?
I put a
right?
poll on there.
So,
I put a poll on Instagram.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the
Unrealistic.
guys went crazy. Guys went crazy because it's like, I was being polite, and there was some people that came to visit me. When they came to visit me at the club, I said, what's up? Say, hey, get a shot. I'm going to the bathroom. When I came back, they gave me the tab for like $175. I looked at the tab, not even thinking twice. I was like, no, this is not even my tab. He's like, oh yeah, they all ordered 1942. I was like, oh wow, I got set up. I was like, I don't have a problem. I paid it. Didn't say nothing to them. But in my head, I was like, you would have never bought that for yourself.
That's what
Exactly.
You would have never did that for yourself.
That's
But
what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
it's cool. You got me. Next time, I'm gonna get you bottom shelf where you ain't looking. and we gonna call it even. But yeah, I got.
And that's what I'm saying. You ladies can't be. We're speaking to a broad audience of women, right? So we want them to know, you guys have to go out there and do it for yourself first. Well, what's attractive to Josh or what's attractive to Ricky when they found their woman is that they were on their grind. They had a mission on. They were already doing something with themselves, right? Now they just come and add to it, But you cannot expect somebody to come save you. And as for things that you can't provide for yourself, it's not anybody else's job to give to you what you're lacking.
And it's like I've said this for I'm glad you guys had me on the show. I was a little scared because I have some opinions on this, but the looks are the only stock that's consistently dropping.
Right.
And if you put all your chips in that stock, you're going to lose at some point. Right? So you have to be building something of value. And I believe that's your intellect, your personality, the kind of person you are, your business, all these other things that can actually grow over your lifetime that guys like this, like Ricky and Josue will respect because, we're not going to come into something where that person, I'm filling a void for this person. You see, if you're filling a void for somebody or vice versa, you put way too much pressure on that human being, and they're always going to let you down, right? So when Ricky saw his girl on the grind, he was just like, she doesn't need me, she wants me.
Yes.
Right? She doesn't need me. She wants me because I know she's going to be all right. He saw her, single moms, and shout out to single moms. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, single moms are someone that like every time we meet a single mom, I'm like, I don't know how
Superheroes.
you guys do it. Superhero.
Yeah.
But, what he saw was like, look at the single mom. She ain't out here complaining about the way life is. She's just handling her stuff, right? So that woman, he knew she was independent and said, hey, look, I can add value here and she can add value to me, but we don't need each other. We're going to want to be with each other. You know what I'm saying? But remember that Josue actually went through a relationship prior to this. And this is the thing that people sometimes get into things too young. People say, well, you're at this age. I was like, dude, I'm just figuring me out because I understand. Like, whenever like a 22-year-old says they're getting married, I'm like, oh God, here we go.
I do the same
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like every single time, like, I don't know. I'm like, I just want to save you.
Call me
like,
in 5.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
Call me in 5.
the thing was, I've had a lot of these views since my 20s. But
I got married at 22. Okay, you just tugged at my subject right there. And it lasted 12 years. So,
But it's supposed to last forever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know if you read the contract.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, we were like, you get to the point because it's young. It's a young
normally
relationship
doesn't last,
too.
is what he's saying. Normally when you marry that young, because you as a young human being have not developed all the skills and you really don't know exactly what it is that you want in life to make such a lifelong commitment. That is a lifelong
I always
commitment,
I always see this. I remember getting as a man, at that lifestyle. I remember some of the ladies saying, "Yeah, you're so selfish about yourself and make you damn right I am." Because I ain't ready. At least I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
That,
you know what? There's nothing wrong with you being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing anything wrong out of the ordinary that you didn't know about from the beginning.
Yeah. No,
you understand?
That's the way I always
So-
say it.
Honesty is the best
You
policy.
did something wrong. You didn't give them what they wanted.
Exactly.
That's what you did.
Exactly. And then I'm not trying to be man about it. I'm being honest with you. It's like I told, like, he just touched on 22 years old. I'm like, man, what have you done? You're 22 years old, man. Tell me some of your experiences.
Have you even left the city yet?
Exactly. I'm like, bro, I don't even think you left on the block yet.
Yeah.
Live yourself, man. Live your life, man. Focus on you first. See what you want.
yourself, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like Bobby and Ricky said, man, you have to really look within yourself first and see what you want.
Yeah.
What Gabby want, what Lily want, what Lenny want. See what you want for yourself first, and then you can go out and see what's out there for you.
Yeah.
You understand? And I think that's the biggest mistake that I see all over the place. And it's not only like locally, it's all over.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
And men got to be strong too, because women are very great salespeople.
Oh, they are.
They're
are.
incredible.
They will sell you.
They will sell you
what you want to see.
And here's the deal. They're not only great at selling you. They sell themselves on a lie. A man is telling you exactly where he's at. You know, we don't play as many games. Like, you know, like I don't like to make blanket statements, but like, look, like if Josue tells you he ain't ready, that's not like, oh, he just ain't ready right now.
No,
Let me just get him under. Let me just get him under contract. Yeah, let me upsell him later. Like, just understand, like, if what you want right now is this, and the man is saying they're not going to give it to you, just keep it moving.
That's it.
Yeah.
Keep it
Take
moving.
it for what it's worth.
Take it for what it's worth.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like, if it happens down the road, cool. But let it be both people's choice. Don't try to sell people into what you want it to be, because that's where I see a lot of shit. I don't know how many men I see right now that are pushing strollers, and I look at their face, and I'm like, they did not sign up for that. They did not sign up for that.
It's so true, man.
Because you got to know the animal you are. Like, look, I've been a freedom seeker for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'll never be in a lifetime relationship, but freedom is very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, and you're gonna have to give some of it up for a relationship.
Yeah.
You will have. There's just
There's
exactly.
no way you
Even if you, but I say some, but like even some women are like, well, I'm the
Like
coolest,
90%, my
I'm the
brother.
coolest woman you've ever met. Yeah, but you're still gonna take some of my freedom away,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I have to make a decision based on that. So like when you know who you are and you can be honest with somebody, and just like, dude, like, and I'm honestly like, I just never met. I've never been in something where somebody didn't say, okay, I understand you, but then not try to change it.
Yeah.
You know, down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I
Because
agree
people
with
have
Bobby on
feelings,
that.
and girls, especially girls, you know, like, even though, honesty, first of all, is the most important, right? Because you cannot blame that person later on because they told you, you know, I'm not ready for this. Then
They were
if you
being honest from the beginning.
a different idea, I had a different idea, that's on you. But at the end of the day, you can be with a person, for example, like Bobby, let's say if we go out, right, and he tells me, oh, listen, I'm not ready for anything serious. But guess what? I said, no, me either. That's cool. I enjoy our company. But we start, you know, interacting with each other. And then the year goes by. And then as a girl, as a woman catch feelings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Women catch feelings.
They all do.
You know,
Men
and
do
for
too. I'll be surprised.
And for
Yeah. They all
guys,
do.
it's easier to detach and just keep it what it is, you know. Just it's our thing that if you gotta be careful. If this is what he's telling you, you know, you
Pay
gotta
attention.
believe
Pay
them.
attention.
You know,
Yeah.
for the first time, and really don't start these ideas in your head when it could go somewhere else.
When
they're
feelings are
being-
involved, that's tough.
You know,
But
So
that's
trouble.
what I'm
I'll be
saying.
honest with you,
That's
like-
why at the beginning you have to, you know,
I mean,
see.
I'm
either
gonna tell you right
want it
now.
or you don't. You know?
Right, and that's a personal. Like everybody's got responsibility on their side. I want to put it all on the female side. Like I can tell you right now, from here on out, like I'm not getting into anything unless because I already know how the story plays out. Like now it's on me. Like I already know that no matter what a woman says to me, it's going to change.
But you know what, Gabby? I think a lot of times the men are afraid to accept it for what it is. And I'll be honest with you. And you know, one of the things I told her is like, yo, if we have another son or daughter, it's fine. If not, I'm still gonna love you the same way, and I'm still gonna love my stepkids the same way.
Yeah.
So I think that's just something that we have to learn to accept. Vice versa, because I mean, how many women get into a relationship that the man has kids, and vice versa, and I think that. A lot of times that's a serious issue. Like Bobby was touching on, being a single parent. That's the hardest thing you can be, man.
Yes.
You know, and I see it vice versa. I see some of my friends that are freaking amazing fathers with their children. In fact, some of them got full custody of them. And you see what they're going through, and you got to give them a lot of respect. But it's like I tell them, bro, just because you're a dad, this is not the end of the world, man. You got to put yourself out there because you still got a lot of value, a lot of quality to give back to somebody else, you know?
Exactly.
And I think just being built really, you got to be confident with yourself, man. I think that's self-esteem. I think comes along a lot. Go ahead, Lee.
I have a question because I want to bring it back to
Modern women.
yes. On the last episode, we talked about how single households in the past couple of years have nearly doubled. Like I think it's like 36.2 million to be exact. No, it's fine. So, single households have doubled. So my question to the guys is: do you feel, or do you think, not feel? Do you think that being overly independent is killing our relationships?
You say single households, like single parent?
Like, yes, no kids and not
Oh,
married.
single
You
household.
think
Oh, okay,
that's
single
why?
people.
Do you think that's why?
Is
I
being
personally,
single.
I feel like we're in an era where everything's instant, right? So like it's Instagram. Everybody wants this.
Instant
this.
gratification.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you know, you think of our parents when they got together, you know, it was really, you know, to death do us part. Now people are understanding, you know, and kind of saying, you know what, I only have one life. So if me and you are not working out,
I'm out.
You know, I'm out of here. Like, I don't think it's about independency. It's just, I think it's more, and that's my personal opinion. There could be facts on some other, you know, I really don't know. But what I'm seeing is people are not accepting what they don't want. If you, let's say,
you can give me what I want, goodbye.
Yeah, I don't need to be in this situation no more. I don't, you know, I have one life and one life to live, and that life I'm gonna live it the way I want to live and be happy. And
that's true.
That's why I think
people
everything
used to put up with a lot of more stuff.
But they had to.
There's a lot
But
of
also
they were more traditional women.
Traditional woman, because guess what? The woman had to take it. Now that the woman have become more independent, they don't have to, because then it's a choice. I don't have to stay because I depend on you. I get to choose if I want to stay with you or not.
Right.
And so, man, obviously,
But I think people are realizing that there's a lot of bullshit stories in society.
Yeah.
And we're just following the train, right? Like what do you talk about? He said he went to college, right? That's what they used to teach us, right?
Yeah.
You go to college, you get a degree, you're gonna get a great job. Is that shit even true? No, you leave with $200,000 worth of debt.
Yeah, he
That's
said
what
he
you
never
leave.
showed it.
I never showed it. But luckily I wasn't in debt, but I have the same diploma and I never used it, right? But that was the story that was being told. Guess what? Marriage is that same type of story, right? Remember, marriage was a construct that was put together a long time ago, thousands of years ago, and it didn't look like it looks today, right? But you still got, like, the perfect example. I was at church the other day, right? And I'm a spiritual guy. I believe in God, but I also am an independent thinker. I'm part of the reason I stopped going to church at one point is I'm very leery about groupthink. A bunch of people believing something together without actually questioning it, right? So the pastor was up there talking about marriage, and he was saying, hey, you know, we had a really rough 2 years, me and the wife, and they have a great dynamic together. They're all stars, or rock stars. But in the first 2 years, he was thinking about divorcing her, right? And he said he went to his dad, and he's like, hey, man, I'm thinking about getting, you know, he's like, she's doing this and that. She's all got this baggage, blah, blah, blah. And his dad was like, so? Like, you like, figure it out. Like, you just stay in it. Now, luckily, these guys made it work. But there's people that you just got the wrong, like, I don't believe that you just have to stay in it because you got to stay in it. But that's because they were partly sold on this thing, right? Because I can tell you right now that women didn't have the rights they have today. When marriage was created, you actually had to get married to even have a life. Because you weren't earning income, they didn't let you do shit and all this stuff. And guess what? We don't live in those days, but we're still selling old stories.
But we're all human, and marriage is not a fairy tale. We all make, you know, people make mistakes. We go through changes. We go through different seasons. You know.
Well, you asked about independent households, and I'm saying people are realizing the lies. They're saying, wait a minute, and we've gone through a lot of shit too in our government and all this stuff where our institutions have failed us. Right? And so kids are like, wait a minute, we've been believing all this stuff. None of that shit might be true. Like, you know what? I should just live my best life. And that's what essentially I've done my whole life, even before it was cool. But also to get to a point so when I see it, I'll know it. If I decide that's something I want to do, cool, but it's not mandatory. Like, you can have an incredible life without doing the wife and kid thing or the husband and kid thing.
I didn't think I was ever going to be in that situation.
There you go.
When I was single, I was like you said, that financial, or not financial freedom, but that freedom that you had, that was amazing to me. That was absolutely amazing to me. I didn't want to fucking pick up my phone. It doesn't mean you have to pick up my phone.
You have to be outside, by the way. You could actually be free and not. And everybody seems to think that means that you're messing around with a bunch of people. I'm saying freedom in the general sense. Like, you know, I wanted to do this today. I didn't have to call nobody. If I want to leave tomorrow in Dominican Republic because I got a business thing over there, I don't got to check in. I just go do what I want to do when I want to do it.
And you're not going to be questioned.
And I'm not going to be questioned about it. And it's not something against somebody. So I don't mean to interrupt you, but like, I just want to make sure that people understand that.
I was just trying to piggyback.
Like, that being free doesn't mean that you're free and like just being, you know, an asshole. You know
At the end of the day, I think it's like we are in a different world. Today, when we choose to be with somebody, we're choosing them to share our life with, to add value to each other's life. Not to be in it because, it's convenient for him because he gets to pick me. Like, come on, we don't live. This is 2022, people.
Man, I think, just to piggyback what Lily Vest said, is so true. I mean, relationships, even marriages, we all go through seasons, man. Seriously, you know, and I think that's the problem where relationships really fall out, man. You know, to be honest with you, they go into this relationship the first 2 years, man. Let's be honest with you, that's all like infatuation. That's when after those 2 or 3 years, then you really get to know each other.
Yeah.
That's when the true identity comes out of all of us. Exactly. So I think that's the problem, that the majority of what I see in relationship is that you got to be prepared for this, especially when it comes to you. When you're marrying someone, you better be prepared mentally and physically. That's where I come in and I say, if you ain't ready, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I'm serious. I did it when I was 30 years old, and I said, I'm done. I was like, done, literally done. But I knew in my heart that I was done, you know? And that's the problem. They think it's a joke. This is not a joke, man. This is something that you're really being committed to. And you got to understand that
It's a union.
It's a union. It's
Having each other's back.
Exactly.
So your life partner.
I was literally gonna say that is like I think we need to get off this whole
Ride or
submission.
Yes.
Like, you know, as you guys know, like I've dated strong,
It's just a
amazing
trigger
people
word.
who are very successful. And what I enjoyed about dating somebody who was successful and driven and all that is that it was a partnership.
Yeah.
You know what?
That is
Sometimes
exactly.
she did make the decisions, but I like that.
Yeah,
Hey,
me too.
Hey, you step up
Exactly.
and make that decision.
Yeah. It's
That's
about
you.
balance.
That's you. But when it was time for me to make a decision, then I step up and do it.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, one person gets a role and you
no
get it. It's a
rules.
partnership. Sometimes there's spots for all of that. There was times when I'm like, you know what? That's a better idea.
And guess what?
That's a better idea.
You get to
Let's
write
do
the
that.
contract, right? You get to write the rules.
And that's
You
gonna
get to-
answer your question too, because you were saying, but somebody has to be on the lead. Yeah, it's all about balance.
Right.
Right.
And
You
I
want to
and
make
goes,
it today. She wants to make it today. You know,
Yeah,
like that
and
is about
It doesn't have
balance.
to be black and white. And she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, but you're a modern woman, but you want a man with traditional
And I
values."
want that.
And
I want
so
somebody
what?
to add something.
Why
like,
can I have that? Why can I be a modern woman that makes my own money, makes my own decisions, but also have a man that is the head of the household that I can respect, that he can provide, that he can protect? Why can I have that?
guess what? We at this table we have.
She thinks that it's like
no,
brown,
no.
right?
Don't
Right.
tell me what I think.
White.
At this table we have we have men that they're big thinkers. They've been around. They've seen things, right? We don't have someone
have
here that
experience.
is representing the majority of men.
Yes, see, that's the thing. You're in denial because that's why we brought 3 different guys from 3 different perspectives and 3 different stages of life, and they all agree on the same thing. Like,
So
that's
you're
the whole
saying
thing.
your point for this whole podcast is to make the point that I was
No,
making wrong.
no,
That is,
no, no.
that is.
not wrong. But what I'm telling you is like you don't have to believe what other people tell you. What this man was that you were listening to, that you brought up to us about how if you're older than said that you're not good no more.
No,
if
it was-
that you have to let a
it's a
man
fact
lead, that you
in
have to
China.
that okay, you see facts, whatever, all these facts he can guess what?
To me,
Put it in there.
what I can take from this is that all what you guys have described, or like a mother woman, traditional woman, like the women that you have been with, the women that you have in your lives right now, is exactly a mix of both.
Yeah.
can make it work.
Go-getters, hardworking moms,
no
loving
rules, there's
women
no
that
majority,
want
there's
to
no-
be supported with their men as well and grow together. So what I can say, I'm a mother woman. Like I love my traditions, but still I go out there and like
But
be
I understand your point.
an entrepreneur.
What she's saying is that there is a majority. This is the exception and not the rule.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that that's just life, right? Like if you want to deal with majority type of results, then go
Then
do
do
that
what the
shit.
majority do.
But what
Yeah.
we said at this table right
That's
now, I
right.
can tell you that what
This
I'm
is
saying
true.
That's
to
the
you
right answer.
after 43 years of study and observation and you want to get this perspective because you go ask on the end and they're like reading the books and the society bullshit. This is the real shit. If you want to be with a top 1%er, you got to start thinking like this.
Of course.
And if you want what the rest of everybody got, then keep doing this
Go
Jerry
ahead.
Springer shit that
Yeah.
everybody else
Yeah,
is doing.
that's right.
Because you're gonna get that same kind of chaos and all this stuff. And I don't roll the dice. I'm just like the reason I'm not in something is like I'm not rolling the dice on this shit. It's too important.
Yeah.
It's too important.
It is.
And I'm watching it happen, and it's a serious thing. Like literally, hey, I'm gonna get married. I'm like they treat it like it's going to a restaurant. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're treating this shit too light.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't
That's-
work. Like, let's just do that.
I hear
You don't
people
think
say
that shit
that.
happens when you have kids and you
Yeah.
have things and people's
Yeah.
lives get affected and
Like,
all stuff. Like,
listen,
stop making these decisions. so damn
especially when
lightly.
you have kids. Like I went through divorce with my daughter too, and that is the hardest part of the whole situation.
because that's who gets
about
affected
after marriage. So yeah, like to me, it's just like if you're not ready to commit, don't do it. Just
One
like
last
you guys
question,
said. too.
One last question. What are the 3 main characteristics you look for in a person that you want to be in a relationship with?
Wow. Okay, great last question.
Start right there.
All right. Well, number 1 is a secure person, right? If somebody carries a lot of insecurities into a relationship, then you're going to be dealing with those insecurities, right? So that's number 1. I need somebody who is on mental, spiritual, and intellectual level with me, because we're never going to have like the kind of conversations I want to. I don't want to have conversations about bullshit.
Yeah,
that's just me personally. I'm just know who I am. Like I want to talk about high level things most of the time, right? Like, but if we can't match on that, then this is the person I'm literally going to be having conversations with for the rest of my life. Like I don't want to get bored. Like, and then I think that the third one is something that you just can't really explain. Like, you have to have some kind. There has to be this feeling, and this. It just, you got to feel like this is it. Like, and it has, and I don't know how it's not a way to do it. I think you just feel like, that's it. I'm shutting it down.
Yeah,
that's it. It's over.
What about you, Jose?
Oh wow. Okay. With me, I would start off as saying just independent.
Yeah.
They have to, to me, I think independency, man. When you're able to see a woman like that, then you're able to understand the value of what she's worth, man. Seriously, and I think that's one of the things that men need to look at. And 2 is like, I love what Bobby said, self-confident, man. They have to feel confident about themselves. They have to feel like, you know what, this is who I am, with or without you, And third of all, man, I'll be honest with you, it's like that connection, man. That you gotta, there's gotta be some type of, like Bobby touched on it, there's gotta be something there that you feel differently inside.
Yes.
And it's like, and it's not, I see what you're saying, the spark, but it's more beyond that. It's deeper than that. Something that you feel inside that you got to, us as men and women have to really understand what you're feeling. Not just that, wow, all right, I like this person. No, it's deep. Go deeper. Look at yourself and then just take the step back and understand, okay, why am I feeling this way? And just, that's the way I was, that's the way I look at it. That's what I look at.
Yeah.
What about you,
Ricky?
For me, it was always ambition first. You start speaking to somebody and you see what they got going on, and you're like, okay, they see the what is it when they say the 5-year plan or whatever. Somebody that really is focusing on like, okay, look, I don't got it right now, because that's the way I always lived my life. When I was dating and I ain't had no money, it was very hard to try to take a girl out, and you kind of look corny taking her to, a damn, what was it feel like not a Red Lobster, but some lower than Red Lobster. You know what I'm saying? You looking corny. You trying, Applebee's. You taking somebody to Applebee's. That shit is hard, but it was stress on me. So for me, I always knew there was a bigger picture, and so when I started dating, I was like, yo, this girl's at where she's at now, and she's at peace with where she's at now. I don't think that we're gonna be very compatible, because I can't sit my ass still. I got to figure out every time what's the next move, what's the next move, what's the next move. So if they're just sitting there and okay with being, whatever it is, whatever they got going on, right there for me, I would not be able to date that person. And then dating security, like them being okay with what I do for a living. Like my job is not easy.
But you gotta have
I've hung out with these 3 girls downtown and put them on my Instagram, and I've seen them and know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Now somebody else looking in. Now look at this guy over here with these 3 girls. He's, you know what I'm saying? They're not understanding. So for me to date somebody, they have to understand what I do for a living, what goes on, how it's all respect. Everybody's cool. Nobody's talking crazy, but this is what it is. Yeah. And so that was important for me when I was dating. And then, obviously that bond, like I dated and went through the whole, like, look, I'm not in a relationship. And then all of a sudden it's like, I met her and I'm like, I want to be with you. I want to be with you. And then she was like, no. And then, I kind of reversed and I was like, well, look, I haven't asked to be in a relationship for a while. So if this is not what you want, that's fine. Then I'm going to go start dating again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was like, nah,
right,
motherfucker, come on.
You did the give and take.
Yeah, I asked you to give and take. Next thing you know, she was knocking on the door. Like,
ultimatum, but it's not an ultimatum.
Yeah, let you know what it is. But,
That's true, and I think most of you agree on the main characteristics. And it's good to know what men want. So thank you for being here. Thank you for showing us that it's more of a partnership, and that the most important thing is communication and being on the same page with your partner, because this is a partnership. This is a lifetime partnership, and you need to have the right partner with you along the way, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you for being
Thank you,
with
guys.
us. See you next
This was
time.
awesome.
Bye.
I know what a lot
There we
of
go. Thank you, guys.